Are you still in college and want to get a internship to gain experience and increase your chances of getting a job once you graduate? There are many steps to this, but one of the most important one is to showcase your skills through your resume, and that could be done by making some personal projects related to the specific job you're applying for.
So I would like to share with you guys my 3-step framework that I used personally to get 2 paid internships in a single year. And all I did was to first recognize my skill, which is step 1 of the framework, is to recognize what your skills are and what your interests are. Making sure that these two are aligned will really help you in getting a good internship that suits your skill level and will definitely be interesting to you. So recognizing your own skill was a difficult task for me. I was first engaged in game development. Then I started by looking into back-end technology. Then I started into web dev. So the journey could have been much easier had I only asked myself this question, like what type of projects am I truly interested in and what truly interests me in the computer science domain. For me, now I've recognized it's full stack web development field. I'm truly passionate in building a complete app in the web domain from start to finish. So after you have done step 1, which is to recognize your interest, your applications in the internship domain will be much more niched. Your resume will be much more niched and your projects will be much more niched. I think that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing because now you're focused. You can spend your energy in focusing whatever you're interested in and be a master in that. So, which brings me to step 2. Since you're just starting out with recognizing your interests, I recommend you to follow a standard tutorial project. For web dev, I started out with a full stack framework, which is Django. So the idea behind doing a project, a complete tutorial project in using Django and Django REST framework was so that I could demonstrate my abilities to handle CRUD operations, authentication, and some user management. The tutorial was super hard. I was not familiar with Django or anything related to CRUD and authentication, but that didn't stop me from completing the tutorial. I realized I did not understand the whole project, but I still followed through. And this is what I would recommend to anyone starting out as well. If you're not understanding this, you can uh, keep trying to understand it, and eventually you'll understand the project. I know it's a cliche advice, but trust me, I've done this and it has worked for me. Which brings me to step 3. After you have completed the tutorial, after you've done the project, no matter if you are 100% familiar with every line of code that you have written, but just follow step 3, which is to expand on these projects with your own personal add-ons and challenges. Let me tell you a simple story in my Django project that I did. So the project was called Study Buddy. I've linked the tutorial link in the description in case you're interested in knowing the full project details. But the project involved full it was like a clone of Discord where you can create rooms for studying together and many users can comment on each other's posts as well. It was a fun project to work with, but during the tutorial, the instructor left me with many challenges. So I used my own intuition and my own understanding through whatever code I've written till that point, and some Googling and Stack Overflow threads to figure out these challenges. But more important than these challenges was the extra add-ons that I added. For example, in adding users as a friend was not a feature that was covered in the project, but I thought it could be a great addition to the overall project. With these simple additions to the project, I highlighted these additions in my resume to make the project look more authentic and stand out from the competition. This worked for me well. I enjoyed the process and I recommend you guys to try it and let me know how it goes. But trust me, just expanding on these tutorial projects with your personal add-ons and challenges, I know it'll be hard in the beginning, but it'll pay off as you'll understand the whole tutorial and eventually you'll start liking doing these projects from scratch. But that's all for this video. If you like this and want me to make more of these, please give a like